Hey guys, this is Mr. Blender Models, and I wanna show you how to use my new horror map kit. And yeah, so this is pretty much a tutorial how to use it, and even a small demo of what I did in like 10 minutes. So yeah, it's pretty fast and performance friendly. So first I'll show you the small scene I did. It's a bit laggy now because I'm using some image effects, and that point lights can cast shadows, so that's pretty performance taking, but that's just because I wanted to make it look a bit better. But I'm gonna show you in a second how it looks in Unity 3, so don't worry. So yeah, those are some decals with bump maps. Everything got bump maps and specular maps, as you can see. And yeah, everything is very low poly, so all the map kit parts are only 250 words, so I think it's pretty fine. Even walls are only 4 words, so yeah. The most high poly is pretty much the door with 88 words, but that's still not a lot, I think. And yeah, so now I'll show you quickly how it would look in Unity 3. Actually, I turned off the image effects already, but I think a lot on the lag is because of the lightning. But of course in Unity 3 you can use beast light mapping, but then you don't have the bump maps and specular maps. Even here it could be everywhere doors, like I showed here in the start, but because I didn't apply the animation to it, which can be done by yourself pretty fast, and I didn't know how you guys maybe want it, so I just left it. It's not gonna take long. So yeah, I would stack on every door I would show, so yeah, I left it open that I can show you what I did. So even some pipes here. And yeah, I was thinking it's pretty cool for maybe like a Slender style game or any other horror game with some jump scares. So yeah, I think this is how it will look in Unity 3. I didn't use any tools now which can't be used in the free version, I think. Yeah, so now to the tutorial. Let's make a new scene, and let's delete the camera, add a player to 0, 1.20, and then let's we'll use the prefabs because everything's pre-made, the colliders and the lights in the point lights in the light meshes. So if you use the models, there's just if you want to edit some materials, and yeah, so those are just the rough models without anything applied or something. So yeah, I'd prefer to use the prefabs that I pre-made. Then let's add a floor, make sure he's on 0, 0, 0. And now let me save that. You have already a ceiling you can stand on, a ceiling and the floor you can stand on. Then let's make quickly a small room. Hold Control for the snapping tool, otherwise it's not gonna work, so You really need to use the control button on everything you do, even on rotation. Always hold control that it's snapping to clean numbers. Now let's add a wall. Make sure again it's on 0, 0, 0. Then let's add a normal wall again. And as you can see, the pivot isn't exactly under the wall, so like that you can just duplicate it and rotate it on the spot without moving, otherwise it would be laid together and it would look very weird and you couldn't make a room here, so that's pretty cool. But that's not what we need now. Always use the control snapping tool. And don't worry about the holes you see here now. I'll show you in a second how to fix this. And as you can see, it's really fast and it's even kinda fun to do. Let's duplicate the door wall, and now it's only visible from one side, so duplicate it and just rotate it on the spot with control, and now you can see that you see through. That's why I made the door march. Not really sure if this is how it's called, but I think you know what I mean. So yeah, now let's even add the door, which you will need to place manually without the snapping tool, because the pivot is on the things here that you can make animation for it, otherwise it wouldn't work. So yeah. And now to the holes. For that you add a corner, make it 0, 0, 0 once again, and just snap it to the corners and it's gonna look fine. I think that's all. Yeah, even made a pole for, but that's more like for bigger holes. And pipes if you want to. Gives some nice look, I think. And now you see there's no bump maps and specular because there's no light yet, and bump maps and specular obviously don't work without light, so I even made something for this. There's a wall lamp which you can once again just snap to the wall. If you use the snapping tool, it's gonna fit perfectly, so don't worry about placing it on the x-axis manually. And there is a ceiling lamp which I mostly use for rooms, and the wall lamps is for corridors, but if you want you can place it wherever you want, of course, and in the rotation you want. And yeah, I think that was all of no, the decals, which you can just drag on the floor. So yeah, now you see the bump maps are working fine, or every collider is already set up. So yeah, I think it's gonna be available on the asset store, so not really expensive, around $5. So yeah, as soon as it's available, I'm gonna post a link in the description. And yeah, I think that's it. Another cool thing I wanted to show you is that for all those models I used one single texture, not any other texture at all. As you can see, there's just well, of course the normals, but yeah, here's the diffuse and specular map baked into one, because otherwise you can't use it in Unity specular maps. You can just drag a black specular map, so you need to bake it into the diffuse and save it as TIFF file format, and yeah, then it works. And so diff and specular you drag into the diffuse, of course, and the normals into the normals, and make it bumped specular, which is everything already set up, so don't worry if you don't know this stuff. And yeah, so I did this texture atlas, which is pretty cool. Here's the diffuse specular. It looks like that outside, but in game it's gonna look normally. Bump map and the specular and separate, which you can't use in Unity, but like I said, it's already baked into the diffuse, so don't worry. And yeah, so that's pretty performance good, friendly, because you use only one single material, and it's even very useful because you can just make one button and you change it for every single model of the kit, so that's pretty cool. You don't need to do it for every model. So yeah, I think that's it. That's all you need to know, and yeah, I hope this is useful, and have a good day.